Hello and welcome to today's video. It is a really exciting one today. Charity shops are back open. I've also got Jeff joining me. You can hardly see him. Shall I point down? Jeff's here. I was setting up and he decided it was his chair, not mine. Which it is your chair, isn't it? Yeah, it's got your blanket on it. Yeah, can I have my hand back? Thank you. So yeah, charity shops are back open and I've been doing some book buying. This is really exciting for me. I love books, I love reading, but honestly, I much prefer them when they're nice and cheap. So these here and these here are all of the books that I brought over the space of the last week, basically. I mean, I've only been out twice and all but one of these came from the first journey, and then I spotted another one when I was out in town, so I was like, I just had to. So yeah, I'm gonna go through them all of this pile down here, 50p each. Loved it. These two here, £1.50 each, and then these first two we're going to start with are the most expensive ones at £2 each. So let's get started. So this is the first one, and if we look at the side we can see that this is Rebecca. I'm so excited about this. This is a leather bound book. It is old, it's fancy, it's new, and obviously Rebecca is a classic. I want to read more classics. I've definitely brought a few over the last couple of years and I don't think I've yet read any. I don't know why. All that I really know about this is it's classed as gothic literature. I've never read anything classed as gothic literature before, I don't think, but yeah, that is literally what I know. But it's obviously a classic and I want to get through as many as I can. This is absolutely stunning and I'm very happy for it. And this is the book that I got on my second trip to town, and when I saw it I just had to get it because I was 99% sure that it was going to perfectly match this one that I'd brought. Yeah, and they do perfectly match, as you can see. So cool. So yeah, this is the exact same, so I'm not going to gush quite so much about how pretty it is and how nice it is and the fact that it's a leather bound original book and that it's a classic. So yeah, this is The Mayor of Casterbridge, and I had never heard of this one. So when I saw it in the charity shop for £2, I did do a little bit of googling for this because I don't really feel like you can spoil yourself for a classic because they've been around that long. Chances are most of them you've heard at least a little bit about, but I had not heard anything about this. So all that I knew in the shop was it was a Victorian classic and that it was fiction. And then if I open up the inside first of all, it's also got these same cover pages and it just looks so cool. So what I've now found out is that it's centred around a drunken anger where this man, I presume the mayor of Casterbridge, but I don't know for sure, sends his wife and daughter off. Like he sells them, I think. And then he establishes himself in the community as this amazing man. And that's all I know about it. I'm not as like excited to read it, but I am excited to expand my classic knowledge, so I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. And it was this pretty, so like how could I not get it? So onto these two are actually part of a set. So this is Inkheart. It does say no major motion picture, but I've never heard of it, so I don't know if that's actually true or not. But it's YA fantasy, that's the section that I found it in. I have some really good charity shops by me for book buying where they do have like all the categories separated and everything, which is truly amazing. And I paid £1.50 for this, and I also paid £1.50 for Ink Spell, and this one says it's the second book in the Inkheart trilogy, so I've got books 1 and 2, and if I enjoy it I'll get book 3. Honestly, I hate cliffhangers, and because it's a trilogy I'm guessing there'll be a cliffhanger, so even if I'm not overly enjoying it I'll probably end up reading book 3. But yeah, and all that I really know about it is that it's centred around a magical adventure that this person goes on through reading a book. That is all I know, and I don't want to spoil myself, honestly. I like going into books not knowing too much, so that's all I know. And I got books 1 and 2. So then now on to our 50p part, and these aren't in as good a condition because they were 50p, but I don't really care. I'd never personally pick up a book that I would consider in bad condition, but as long as it's good enough to read, that's all you really need. So yeah, let's start at the top here. This is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. So what did I know about this going into it? I've seen the odd episode of the TV series, so I've picked up bits and pieces, but I don't know the whole story. And you know, like I've never watched a lot of the TV series, it's just been the odd episode here and there, so I didn't know a lot, but I knew that it was to do with time travel and I knew it was set in Scotland. So yeah, since basically seeing this on booktube 5 or so years ago, I've always wanted to read it, but it's a big commitment because this is a 9-book series. So yeah, for 50p I can't grumble, and I really hope that I will get to read it. My thought process is to collect all the books and then on trips to Scotland, because I'm based in England in the UK, so Scotland's not very far, to read them whilst in Scotland. I think that could be really cool, so we'll see. But leading on from that, the next 50p book was this one, An Echo in the Bone? Yeah, An Echo in the Bone, and this is book 7. So yeah, book 1 and book 7, but that's what they had. And if they're there for 50p, I might as well collect them whilst they're there. And this one looks in really good condition. Like, there's obviously a few cracks in the spine, but except for that, this basically looks brand new. Like, it's obviously been read because of the cracks, but very impressed with the condition of this. So I also got book 7. Then the next book I got, this is Darren Shan, and it's the Vampire Blood trilogy. So I thought in the shop that this was just a trilogy, and that's not actually the case. So it turns out that this is books 1 to 3 of a 12-book series. But yeah, I picked this up because I read the Demontonia series by Darren Shan when I was in school. I was probably like 13, 14 when I read those, so over 10 years ago now, but I loved them. And this seemed a bit more, not grown up, but it seemed more aimed at an older audience, I guess. So book 1 is called A Living Nightmare, and that's the only book I've looked into because I don't want to spoil myself for the rest. But all that I know about it is a young boy visits a mysterious freak show which leads him into a world of dark vampires. But yeah, I'm really intrigued by this and I really want to get to reading it. So, and it was 50p for essentially free books because the free books are in here, so very happy. This one I got because of how pretty it was. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get around to reading this, but I'll keep it for a while until I can properly decide that. So this is The Snow Spider. And if I just read the back of it, it says, Gwyn's grandmother leaves him 5 gifts. A brooch, a piece of dried seaweed, a tin whistle, a scarf, and a broken toy horse. She tells him they will help make him a magician. But can Gwyn use them to bring his missing sister Bethan home? So yeah, it sounds interesting, and it's a short book. I believe that this is probably going to be more middle grade, but I do enjoy reading middle grade sometimes, so yeah. But it's ridiculously pretty. I don't know if you can see like the shine and shimmering in it, but it's all over the front cover. When I got home I did look, and it is the first book of a trilogy, so if I enjoy it I might pick up the others as well. So then the next book, this is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stevewater. Is that how you say it? Stevewater? Steve? I'm pretty sure I've heard it pronounced Stevewater, but I'm not 100% sure. I picked this up because, well, 1, it was 50p, and I've heard a lot about this book. There used to be quite a lot of hype around it, and not just this book, but the whole series and world that it's based around. I honestly don't know a lot about this. I know that it's classed as YA fiction and YA fantasy, and I'm not gonna lie, just before purchasing this I had seen a video by Books and Nala saying that this is her favourite book series. So I saw the first book in the series and thought I'd pick it up. I already know that I have a very similar reading taste to her, like I watch her channel a lot, so I know that I might like it because she does, which Honestly, that was enough for me. But I don't actually know much more about it than that, so I'm not going to look into it anymore because I don't want to spoil myself, because I know that it'd be really easy to with this series. And I also think it's nice going into books a bit blind sometimes and not having any idea of what's going on in the world that they're surrounded in. So yeah, that's that book. This is a bit of a silly purchase. This is the Ladybird book of the midlife crisis. I already own a couple of these like Ladybird book of the midlife crisis type books. I thought I'd get this one to add to it. These are basically children type storybooks but aimed at adults and at adult problems, and honestly they're just a bit of fun and I do enjoy them. Yeah, the illustration style is very childish and there's not a lot of writing, but they're fun and I enjoy them. Then this one. This is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and I do think I think there is a chance that I do own another copy of this book that's packed away, but I've never read it, and it was another leather bound. It doesn't match the others, but this was 50p and it's a leather bound copy that's really nice. It's got like red sprayed edges just at the top, not the side of the bottom, but at the top it's got red sprayed edges. And yeah, it's a book I've always wanted to read, and it was 50p for an actual classic of the classic. Surprisingly, I don't actually know a lot about it, and because it's a classic that I know is beloved and a lot of people know about it, read about it, something that a lot of people read in school, I believe. I'm leaving myself blind again. It's one of those that I should hopefully love it, so I'm just going to go into it like that. And then the final book. This was also one that I got for 50p, and it is The Heroes of Olympus, Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. I know very little about this because I need to check what book number it is in the series. Basically, there is a 5-book Rick Riordan series, the Percy Jackson books, and they're like the middle school age range books, and I read all of those, and then I read the first book in the next series, which is this one, the Heroes of Olympus series, and I never carried on reading it just because it just slipped the back of my mind. I just wasn't thinking about it and I never ended up picking it up. So I want to pick those up because I really enjoyed what I had already read, and this was 50p and it's a hardback, which honestly I do love hardbacks. I do think they're a lot prettier and a lot nicer to display, but I do prefer reading paperbacks, so I didn't mind that the rest of these are paperbacks because that's what I personally prefer reading. But I mean, hardbacks are expensive and this was 50p. I can't see, in the UK this would have been £12.99 originally and I got it for 50p. Very happy with it. And you might notice that I'm someone that doesn't care if this is a different cover or sleeve, or like some are paperback and some are hardback in a series. I'm not particularly bothered about that. Obviously if the chance comes up to get a series to match, I will, but I'm very happy just to have the content because that's what I buy them for essentially, is the content. And I actually haven't checked under the dust jacket of this one, I've just realised. Is it pretty? Bit disappointing, honestly. It's got a nice spine, but there's nothing under the dust jacket, so yeah, that was a bit disappointing to leave it on. I should have checked that beforehand because yeah, that's my last book and that's a really bad note to leave it on, but that's that. So yeah, that is all of the books that I brought from charity shop since they opened back up, and I'm really happy with them. I haven't yet got bookcases sorted in this house. Once I have, I definitely want to do like a bookshelf tour. I love watching them. I think it's going to be a pain in the arse to record and a pain in the arse to edit altogether, but I love watching them and I love being nosy and looking at people's shelves, so I definitely want to organise that at some point. Poor Mia, are you being a moody bum? Jeff's not happy that I'm still sharing the chair with him after all this time, so I'm going to leave it here. Are you getting down? Oh, well, no, he's really not happy. He's walked off. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Do give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below if you would like to see more content like this. And hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.